What up, playa? It's me. I am here, but barely. I am feeling better from yesterday. I got to take another day off, which was another answered prayer, second day in a row. I was feeble. I was like sort of collapsed into my couch like one of those like fainting ladies. Those like black and white movies, like silent films. It's like, and I was just like, oh Jesus, I would not mind if I got offered a cut tonight, and if I need to, I can pick up later in the week. And guess what? Somebody texted me to see how I was feeling, and I got to take off one more night, and I needed it. So I've just been laying low and making a little content and having this Ricola. Welcome back. Not brought to you by Ricola yet. Looking for a sponsor. This girl loves her lozenges. I love that taste of the classic Swiss Alps. Yeah, so feeling a lot better, and yeah, took a salt bath. I've been really sage smudging with a smudge, the end of a smudge stick that had dragon's blood resin on it. And that is like, if y'all need to basically like do an exorcism of your energy, do it. I just felt like I had the evil eye on me, and I just had like energy hanging around me. And I know a lot of us are like, today's reading, y'all. I mean, have you been going through like the final call for Purge January? Holy crap. Like, I know that, I feel like maybe it was before Christmas during one of our Lunation workshops. I remember talking about how there was going to be a moment where it felt like Michael, like from Halloween, was like coming back one last time, like after you think he's dead, or like whatever, like those early 80s horror movies where it's like a slasher flick, and like they just keep coming back, and like every time you think that the girl is like stabbed them to death, they always like look over them, and then the guy, you know, raises up one last time for like one last fight. I don't know if anybody's been through any of that as far as like what they've been processing and the final changes. And just when you think you've gotten it all kind of settled, like maybe you got like, I don't know, a hit out of left field where you thought something was going fairly well, and you were like, I don't know if I don't think I believe this yet, you know, because we're just like, we've been through the tests, right? And we're like, couldn't be this soon, this quick, like things couldn't be working out this easily yet. And like, bam, Michael comes back for one more go. Like, beelined out of nowhere. I don't know. I got some surprises this week for sure. So, and it was those kind of moments where you're just like, really, it's gonna come to this. It's gonna have to be this way. So be it. C'est la vie. Sayonara. You know. But yeah, it's all good because it's all playing out for like our highest good. And the things that we saw that revealed themselves to us, I think a lot of us saw that we were almost, we nearly missed a detrimental mistake. And I think we're just like, whew, a sigh of relief, honestly. But just like the aftershock of that, I think has dredged up a lot of the original wound that it was under, that it was testing us with. And so you may be feeling this, what I described today. Well, let's just get into the reading. You might be feeling this as follows. So from the, we're doing our anchor message for the week. So last night, go back and watch Sunday's energy oracle forecast if you haven't already. That's going to be like the energetic weather of the week, like the conditions we're going to be in. Our anchor messages on Monday are usually using the tarot mixed with the wild unknown archetypes. And that gives us our anchor message for the week, which is the themes of the lessons that we will be working with. So the archetypes produced the ocean, the sword, and the self. with the Chariot underneath the ocean. The Hermit underneath a sword. And underneath Self was 8 of Pentacles. So I'm going to talk about these all. And yeah, sorry I don't have like the whole table set up on these like nightly readings, but it's like it saves me so much time to just sit here on the couch that like it would add an extra hour onto every reading every night. So we just do it this way, and then we do our bigger ones when we can. Okay. So I feel like this tempest of emotion is coming up through right now, is washing through this week. High winds, crashing waves, choppy surface waters. And it's bringing up things out of the depths of our subconscious. Pieces of wreckage, of old failed dreams, old lives lived, relationships come and gone, all the wreckage of the towers that have come and crashed, you know? Old pollution, trash that was left there by the careless. And you know, a lot of that was we had not learned to be the stewards that we needed to be to keep our waters pristine, right? But that's changing now, you know, and it's not like we were ever out of line or off time. That was all part of the process, the journey, the adventure, the story that played out so that we could go through the process of unfolding and discovering ourselves and healing and correcting our souls, right? And revealing more of the radiance of the Spirit, the Holy Spirit from within us, right? Our expression of the Creator through our uniqueness, you know? And so it was all meant to play out this way, you know, just for us to go through the process of learning how to, through the process of awakening, learning how to actually claim our inheritance of free will and be conscious enough and embodied enough in our self-mastery and self-control to be able to use it. So I think that a turn of events has happened recently that is the kind of climactic ending of a long process. You know, our whole lives up until now have been coming to a conclusion, and we've been moving into this new storyline that we've been talking about, like life, the new season, but the former canon does not apply. So this new start is kicking off in January. You know, we've been talking about, it's all about reflecting. It's all about getting rid of all of that last bit of programming that we don't want to take with us into this next start, right? This new cycle. And so there were some final tests that came up, and they were very, very subtle. Like, you may have thought that it was like your new start finally starting because it was that subtle. But the higher and more mastered we get, like the more fine-tuned the tests get. The opponent like gets like more bigger and smarter with us at every level as well. Our opponent is always up leveling with us. So the test was probably very, very subtle, very, very easy to fall prey to. But I think that we were all savvy, and I think that we all were conscious of paying attention to our guidance, and we were being warned of it throughout. And so I believe that we've all nearly missed what could have been chaos. And we're all just like, wow. But thank God, pat yourself on the back. Like, it's a win. Even though we're all left a little shaken and emotional and like kind of bewildered and like, wait, what? I think overall, it's giving us this opportunity to look at the situation and see the difference in us, the progress. Because when we see how detrimental it would have been to our progress, we see how far we've come, right? And how different we are, and how the person we were maybe a year ago wouldn't have spotted the test. They would have had to go through a process of learning all over again. But this is a new cycle that we are starting. And we are letting this tempest rage. We're letting ourselves purge all of this emotion. We're paying attention to all of these lessons coming up and really, really solidifying them, grounding them, and embodying them. Taking our time to let it get really like clear to us and get grounded in that and let it set. Because we are ready to move on. We're ready to move forward. We're feeling like the rebirth is imminent and we're ready for it. It's just, we're still in the final, like letting the dust clear, letting it all settle. And like February coming up is going to be that kickoff energy, that launch energy, that new start to the year. Motion and things are going to start happening. So what we need to do is allow the rest of this purge to offload any of these blocks and any of that density and weight and those old mindsets and those old behavioral patterns that might slow us down or hold us back. So we're offloading that and purging it so that we're light and so that we're going to be moving forward very quickly. There's going to be very, very fast forward movement and progress. It's just, we have to let the storm come to cleanse everything, and then the waters will return to stillness, right? There's, deep inner peace within us, but this storm right now is divinely orchestrated. So just surrender to it and enjoy it and be like Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump when he's like riding the sail, the mast or whatever the big pole is that holds the sail. And he's like, I don't know, wilding out in the middle of a lightning and thunderstorm or a hurricane. Be that. We are chainsaw dancing on the edge of oblivion, people, and we are loving every minute of it. Okay, so Chariot, we're about to start moving forward very fast, and being acknowledged for like all the progress, and like people are like, yeah, I see, good for you, like, and you're gonna be acknowledged, and whatever you've been putting all your efforts into, even if it's not related to the thing that just blew up, it doesn't matter. Passing that test is going to give you so much magnetism and power and empowerment and like this electrifying, like lightning in a bottle kind of energy. So you need to just channel that into what you're doing. Get extra focused, extra determined. And all of that energy is going to be put into something. Remember, we talked about it in one of our secret teachings of Jesus videos recently. And it was that nothing that you ever do, like when you give out of your heart to something in the spirit of real love and like earnestly, that energy is never wasted. It is, even if it blows up in your face, seemingly, it is set aside for you in a spiritual bank account that is going to come back like during the like pristine moment. And I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the energy build because this ocean that is raging right now, the storm that is going on, where our emotions are like, oh, just get it all out because you're so ready to be over it and you're so ready to move forward. And all of that storm is helping you get this clarity that is giving you the strength that is required to take a swing of the sword. In the wild unknown archetypes, this sword is the sword wielded by what I believe to be, in my connection with this sword, the power of Gavura, which is the holy, like divine archetypal energy of the soldier who can swing and have that killer instinct without hesitation to make a clean cut and take one powerful swing and let that be that. A weak, cowardly swing, one that hesitates, leaves not a clean break. You'd have to take whack after whack to get someone, to cut through, right? Or stab after stab, like if you're not like, so you need like out of balance in the negative side, that soldier becomes cruel, tyrannical, forceful, right? But in the balanced, like positive way, that is like the soldier of the Lord, wielding the sword of the Lord, because You're wielding the sword of your most authentic truth, and you're taking decisive action in certainty in the Creator, being led by that guidance, and being confident in it, that if you truly believe that you're being guided and you truly believe that you're moving according to divine guidance, then you're doing that knowing that even if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter, because the Creator can just turn it around in your favor and move parts and pieces just to make things play out for you in your favor. So really, it's all about just exercising the faith to have that certainty, that courage, and that strength and that perseverance to swing the sword and make a clean cut, make a clean break from these things that are not serving you, the things that are not really in alignment with you. Make a clean cut away from the things in your life that are asking you to deny the truth of who you are instead of helping you become more of it, right? And we have hermit underneath that. So I feel like, in a way, we're cutting out people that we are over giving to, that are only self-serving, that are only ever thinking about them, or institutions, or jobs, or careers that don't return the value. And now we are choosing ourselves, and we are going inward, and we are reflecting on how this lesson has been playing out many, 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 many times over and over again through our lives. And it's time now to correct that. In Kabbalah, we learn that on the tree of life, like, we learn about this process called tikkun, and that is the process of soul correction. Through many lifetimes, we break these layers of negativity that are manifested in our patterns, right, in our mindsets, and our lessons that we always have to play out and keep learning from, And so that reveals more of our spirit from within, right? And it helps us become a stronger and greater vessel for the light, a more pure channel for the light. And it helps us become a source of sharing, and giving and receiving for the sake of others, instead of trying to take and destroy and receive for the self alone. We become builders, we become sharers, right? And so we are going inward and using this opportunity and saying, okay, this is this decisive moment for me where I'm taking all of this that I've learned and I'm using it in this moment to transform, to align with my deepest truth of who I am. And I am moving forward according to the guidance that I am being given. And I am healing inside, and I am moving forward in my purpose. And I am going to be a light bearer for others as well. But because you have learned to find your deepest authentic truth that is in alignment with your relationship with the Creator and is your unique expression and co-creation with you and the Creator on behalf of the Creator. This moment where you cut the cord and decide to walk away is like the initiation that breaks free this power, that empowered inner light, right? That lightning bolt strike of clarity and truth. The ability to cut free is like the sacrifice that opens you up and allows you to pass through this initiation portal into the next phase of your life, right? This is like the rite of passage to the up level. And so this process in and of itself is all about shedding those layers to get to the center of all of this experience and wisdom that is revealing this precious soul, this spirit inside of you, right? That is perfect, that is a refulgent splendor, that is a reflection of the radiance of divine coming through you. And so we're cutting out all of that negativity, right? And this process, even though it's been painful recently, and even thinking that we had, eureka, found a solution, found an opportunity, or found a possibility in a person, or maybe you thought like a project was going to get greenlit or something by someone who's going to produce it or whatever, but maybe it wasn't the right person. And maybe that right producer or what have you is right around the corner that's going to be more in line with your vision and is going to appreciate you for you exactly and not try to change you or try to change your vision to suit their perception of what is needed. Because you are a unique expression of what is needed. And you're learning to trust that. You're learning to trust the unique expression that is coming through you, and you're not letting others tell you what it needs to be like. And so this has been a learning process, and you're still this lifelong student, but you're learning that this has all been a journey, and it always is a journey to a deeper self-discovery. So yeah, you're seeing the transformation, you're feeling the transformation, and you're excited to go even further into the transformation. And we're only at the beginning again, right? We're freshmen all over, beginning in a new journey. And so our challenge now is to bring these pearls of wisdom and experience with us, but be like the fool in that we have this childlike innocence as we go forward, and we're not marred by being jaded by the past, or afraid of the shadows and echoes of when things didn't go right. But now it's like we've already moved through those lessons, and we're proving again and again through these like more and more subtle tests. They're like death by 1,000 paper cuts, that that we're ready, and that we're not going to settle, and that we're fine-tuning our vibration of who we are so that the universe can begin to send us things, people, resources, opportunities, things that really resonate with us, that'll click, and it will be catalysts for exponential expansion, right? This is a conscious awakening, and turbulence comes with an awakening. Oh, there was something that I meant to say last night, but I'm like so sick that I can't remember it. It's so funny because too, in the Secret Teachings of Jesus video from like last week, I couldn't get my words together. I was not being articulate. And then like for once people were like commenting like crazy, just like on this like one video, but everybody's like putting in like all of these things that I was trying to get at and say, but I couldn't say it. And I was like, yes, thank you. It's like the everybody ended up getting like the pings and then like adding it into the comments. It's like we were all in on the same station. So I love that. But one of the things that I wanted to say in yesterday's video was that I was reading my book in the bath yesterday about it was Angels Within Us, and it was about the angel that was associated with the energy of Jupiter was coming in and expanding everything. But before an expansion, there's contraction, right? Before there's evolution, there's pressure. Before there's stability in an up level, there's turbulence and dissonance. And so what we're going through right now, even though it feels like we made a mistake or something, or like, what happened? Are we being like, what went wrong? It's nothing went wrong. We're just passing a test, and it's like the aftershock of these tectonic plates that are moving and shifting, right? At a very deep level, at a ground level, at a foundational level. And so things are just a little shaken up right now, and it's all going to settle down soon. So you guys keep your hearts open and just get really excited. Let yourself get some rest and let all of this settle and reflect on it. And really let your hearts like recalibrate and point themselves back to their true north, because we need a second to where our energy isn't being influenced by anyone but us. We need to let that sit for a second, because come February, things are going to be moving forward and the opportunities are going to be starting to flutter in. And so we need to get poised, like pretend you are a gymnast standing at the end of your mat, and you're just taking a deep breath, and you're like running through your routine in your mind, because you're going to like stick every landing, right? So We're all just sitting there in our leotards right now, getting ready. We're about to do some like fire floor work. Do that like quadruple back bend, like up in the air twist around thing. Like the things that people are doing as gymnasts and like ice skaters now is like, it's not human. It's insane. Do you remember like, I don't know, have you ever watched videos of like 90s ice skaters and like 80s? It wasn't as impressive. It was still good, but like nowadays it looks like what people are doing like at their like high, like their ballet recitals. It's insane what like athletes are doing now. It's like crazy. I don't know how we got off on that. Maybe chariot. Well, all right. And I love that this chariot is the snail because like we might have gotten off to a slow start, but once we get going, we're going to be going. They're going to eat our rubber, burn our dust. It's a joke from Christmas Vacation. And Rusty says, "It's eat my dust, Dad, and burn rubber." He's like, "Whatever, Rusty." All right, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.